BlueOcean Strategy is a very popular business book. However, despite its graphical style and presentation, BlueOcean Strategy is still not fully understood. In this short video, I will explain some of the principles of BlueOcean Strategy using an example not found in the book. Why BlueOcean Strategy? Have you ever thought of how some businesses profit more than others in the same industry? What are these differences? Why do customers choose one business's offerings from others? Is it possible to profit in a market with an overabundance of competition? Is a good strategy defined by incremental modifications? These questions will be answered in the next set of slides. Shifting existing demand. This occurs when companies tweak product offerings to outperform competition by offering a little more of what the industry currently offers. Conventional belief is consumers are willing to pay more for slightly higher value products, having more intense product features. The end result is companies are forced to lower their prices to increase sales. Lower prices may nudge sales up, but will hardly drive a company to open up uncontested market space. So what is BlueOcean Strategy? BlueOcean Strategy pursues both product differentiation and low cost. They target value-added features only at an acceptable cost to the consumer. In essence, BlueOcean Strategy focuses on optimal and potentially new offerings from alternatives. For example, alternate industries or alternate strategic groups that add increased value to current consumers and at the same time the acquisition of new customers never considered. Red oceans. This is the typical competitive environment. In red oceans, companies compete in existing market space. They shift demand among the same customer group by tweaking company offerings. They make the value cost trade-off. This means that they try to give customers a little more for a little less, which results in reductions of profit. They try to outperform rivals by grabbing a greater share of existing demand. As the market space gets crowded, prospects for profits and growth are reduced. Products become commodities, and cutthroat competition turns the oceans red. So, core of the concept, red oceans. Benchmarking customers by offering them a little more for a little less. As we said before, this may nudge sales up, but will hardly drive the company to open up uncontested market space. In BlueOcean Strategy, we want to shift the strategy canvas of the industry. The strategic focus must be reoriented from competitors to alternatives and from customers to non-customers. For example, consider a small town having only 5 clothing stores, which targets one specific customer group. This customer group contains only 50 members, and in this case, professional fishermen. Each store studies each other's strategic moves and makes small attempts to modify its offerings in hopes of shifting more purchases of the same 50 fishermen to their store. Small incremental modifications, for example, garment features such as added bait pocket, thicker boots, etc., may produce a few additional sales from the same customer group from one store at the expense of the others, but will not attract a mass of new buyers from the same town, yet a neighboring town. This is an example of companies focusing on the same customer base and in relation to what their competition is doing. Now, one store, let's call it Store A, realizes that the town is also home to many ballet schools, which also serves neighboring towns. Store A performs a small amount of customer research and realizes that mail order is the main method for consumers to acquire ballet attire. Store A therefore integrates a line of ballet attire. Sales explode and Store A is profiting heavily with a new image. Customers from neighboring towns are also frequenting Store A. Store A created a blue ocean by targeting an alternative industry, in this case, the ballet industry, and acquire new customers from the town and, more importantly, a vast amount of customers from neighboring towns. The remainder of the 4 stores are now experiencing even less sales from the same 50 professional fishermen. These professional fishermen are choosing to make purchases with Store A as they shop with their wives and or daughters for ballet attire. At this time, Store B performs some basic consumer research and determines that compared to the 50 professional fishermen living in the town, the vast majority of the men in the town are amateur fishermen that love to fish on the weekends but refuse to purchase expensive fishing attire. Store B determines that if they could introduce a less featured and less expensive fishing attire, the mass of amateurs would make purchases. Store B also experiences a new explosion of sales. Store B also realizes that most of the professional fishermen prefer the less expensive attire as well. Store B created a Blue Ocean by choosing an alternative strategic group, this group being the amateur fishermen, and at the same time gained those customers and some additional professional customers. The remaining stores went out of business. Learn Blue Ocean Strategy. Visit www.businessprofitandprotect.com. I have an 11-session course filled with various new tools and new examples not found in the book. My course also includes a step-by-step strategy manual that allows instant application of Blue Ocean Strategy in your business. My course takes the mystery out of learning Blue Ocean Strategy. I also have materials regarding voice of customer techniques, strategic planning, and the patent process. Thank you very much.